Dark Souls. Holy shit, 3,000 views already, not bad. Everyone likes Dark Souls, right? Games journalists who didn't play Dark Souls love to use Dark Souls to explain the games that they didn't play through fully before writing their review. People who played Dark Souls love to tell you that Dark Souls is the ultimate game of all time. People who don't like Dark Souls love to hate Dark Souls. That's not important right now. I'm gonna make a confession that's going to lose me 10 billion gamer cred. I've never beaten Dark Souls solo, or any FromSoft game, for that matter. I played all of them with friends. The only boss that I've soloed was the Dancer in Dark Souls 3, and holy shit, that was a hell of a fight. I was crazy underleveled. I had no armor, I had twin blades. I was beating the Dancer at her own game. Took me till 5 a.m. Great boss battle. And it makes me sad, because knowing that one of my favorite memories in my entire experience with this series was the one time I had to go it alone, tells me what a good game it is to beat alone. But I'm a busy person. I don't honestly have the time to play long single-player campaigns on my own that much anymore, while keeping up with all of my work and my social life. I'd have to decide between playing fun games with my friends, or spending my evenings playing games solo. Usually, in the evenings when my friends aren't online, I'm editing videos. I'd love to beat Dark Souls solo. I'd love to beat Elden Ring. I'd love to beat Cyberpunk 2077. I'd love to finish the Witcher trilogy. I still haven't finished Armored Core 6. Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite are just sitting in my library. You know what I've never played? That's been on my bucket list for years? The Half-Life series. Just haven't found the time to pick it up. I pre-ordered the System Shock remaster. Haven't booted it up one time. All this isn't to say that I have a solution to not having the time to beat games alone. I've made peace with that. I'm an adult, and I have a job. The point is that I love playing Dark Souls with my friends. We're currently working our way through Dark Souls 2 for the third time, and it's one of our friends' first time, so it's fun to watch him play the game with fresh eyes, especially when he hates parts that we've all come to love in a masochistic, self-flagellating sense. But something always strikes me. Dark Souls kind of sucks to play with friends. Not nearly as bad as the old Monster Hunter games. I couldn't play World with friends because of how bad the co-op was. But it's not designed to be played with your mates. The bosses are kind of trivialized by multiple players being there. The summoning system is a little time-consuming, sometimes finicky, especially in Dark Souls 2 with soul level, or memory, whatever the fuck. Having to beat each boss 3 times once in each of your worlds is fun, but what isn't fun is having to traverse the overworld 3, 4 times just to get every bonfire. It can be grueling. There's a reason Elden Ring's seamless co-op mod was such a sensation, and there's a reason there's talks of FromSoft taking lessons from that in their future titles. I hope to God they improve how playing with your friends feels in future FromSoft games. And as much as I love these games, whenever my friends propose going back to some of the old titles, part of me goes, yeah, it's fun, but that's an undertaking. I wish there was a Souls game that didn't make you feel punished for playing with friends, that made it easy, and didn't make you miss out on some core enjoyable part of the game. Welcome to Vouch, the show where every review is a recommendation, and today I found a Souls-like game you can play with your friends, stress-free, and it's called Flyknight. In Flyknight, you play as a fly who is a knight. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. You live in a land ravaged by war, taken over by an evil witch named Lunamoth, and you and all of your fly brethren have been struck by a curse that prevents you from growing wings. As a fly, this is devastating to your personal identity, so you're grounded for the majority of this game. You put on some armor, you pick up a sword, and you start going to town. You have to kill some ants, you have to kill some plants, gotta kill some wasps. There's bugs in Flyknight. This is a Bug Souls type game, okay? It's a first-person dungeon crawler, Souls-like. It's pretty fun. I love the visual style. A lot of people don't like low poly, but I don't care as long as it has soul, and this shit does. The stylization is great. The sound effects are fun, though sometimes very loud. The weapons are pretty creative. I like them. There's a fucking horned shield, and if you parry with it, it does damage. You can hit people with a leek, like Hatsune Miku, or the bird from Pokemon, who is a reference to Hatsune Miku, and It's a mace, but instead of doing physical damage, it does magic damage. So if you have a ring that boosts your spell damage, it's cool, okay? I like this game. I played it with my friend Frog, who introduced me to it. Thank you, Frog. Love you, baby. And it's really fun. There's also fishing, if that does it for you. It did it for me. Yeah, munch on it. Munch on it fucking teeth style, dude. Use teeth. Yeah! I got you. I got Rhymallow.
Use teeth. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Hey, the big fish.
Oh, I got the big onion fish that I wanted.
Dude, the big onion. I think I'm about to get
That's a banana, actually.
Yeah, I think I'm about to get banana fish. Nibble. Nibble it, man.
Holy fuck.
Oh, I got Musana. Oh, Musana. Musanana. Musanana na.
Fish now.
Na fa na na. I'm gonna get that fucking red arrow fish all the way out in fucking Timbuktu. Come! Come to me, the fish! Oh my god, I'm out of stamina! I fucking died! The fish was too strong!
What?
It's super easy to drop in and drop out, and the bosses were still really fucking hard until we figured out how they worked. We're able to get dunked on in our inexperience, learn the patterns, play around them, and then come out on top. The way it feels when you fight a boss solo in Dark Souls, at least as far as I could tell from the one time I did that. Bit of a side tangent here, but I love how interactive the world is. Enemies can get into fights with each other. Enemies can fall prey to the traps that target you, and you can use them tactically. There was this one run to a boss fight that me and Frog did over and over because we wanted to farm his cool-ass samurai armor, and I always made sure that the ant would step in the Venus flytrap and then start fighting that instead so he would lose aggro on me. And some of the boss and mini-boss arenas have things that you can use to entrap the boss, which I think is just so fun and dynamic. But at the same time, it doesn't trivialize any of the game. With the hardest and most recent boss that we fought, we had to work together to create a strategy where I would wait for him to charge me in the middle of the flaming circle of fire and parry him so he would be stunned, and then I would knock him down, and then Frog would cast like a fucking tornado fire spell on him or some shit to get a lot of damage in while I wailed on him. Like, we were able to synergize because the game was slow-paced enough for that, and it's not just like, everybody do as much damage as you fucking can until he falls to the fucking ground, and then everyone do as much damage as you fucking can. I love Dark Souls combat. It's not optimized for 5 people. That's not a failing of the developers, but if I want to play with friends, it doesn't work as well. There's always also the fear of, oh god, we all have to play at the same time and keep the exact same progression, or someone will fall behind and they won't be able to keep up. In Flyknight, there's no leveling, there's no stats, there's no XP. You just get better weapons, better armor, better gear, and better game sense. The progression is mostly knowledge-based and some resource-based, but when Frog went ahead and played a little bit further into the game, then waited for me to come back and we kept progressing from where we were, he wasn't overpowered, he just looked cooler than me. It's not very long. It's not a huge undertaking. How long to beat says you can beat the game in 3 hours. I've not beaten the game, and I have 6 hours in it. So, you know, maybe more like 10 or 12 if you're a normal person who likes to explore all the secrets, loot all of the hidden chests, and die a lot because you're bad. And go fishing! But I think this game is a blast. It is $6, which is way under the value you're going to get from the game. And if you and your friends like playing Dark Souls, but you've played the trilogy a million times, Elden Ring is way too big to consider going in for a 4th fucking run, and you're just tired of how clunky it feels, run this shit, brother. You can play with up to 4 friends. Progress is saved for everybody. Fashion Souls is here. And the level design is actually pretty good. A lot of the Souls-likes I've tried, Thymesia comes to mind, had interesting combat, but the level design made me want to end my existence. It was so bad. Flyknight's pretty good. Buy it or not, I don't care. Bye.
I could lift you up. I could show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be my luck. Even if the sky is falling down, I know that we'll be safe and sound. We're safe and sound. We're safe and sound.